Hello, hello. It is the moment we have all been waiting for. Tottenham are back where they belong. They are back in the Champions League. And they're in the Champions League after winning the Europa League last year. Captain Heung-Min's son, or should I say, former Captain Heung-Min's son, lifting that beautiful and glorious trophy above his head in Bilbao as we beat Manchester United. And not only did we win a precious and fantastic trophy that means so much to this football club, but it actually means that we're in the Champions League. And after finishing 17th in the Premier League, Tottenham are in the Champions League competing with some of the biggest teams from across Europe. And in about 30 minutes' time, Tottenham will know the teams they are facing in that competition. And I thought, what should we do? What's the best thing to do? Is do a live stream and react to it as the teams get pulled. I'm so excited. I love the Champions League. I love the games under the lights. I love the Europa League. I'm so glad we won it. But that Champions League, the anthem, the music, it just gives you goosebumps. It is just such a thing to behold. I'm so glad Tottenham are back in this competition. But obviously, those of you who may not know me, and we've got 10 people already watching and 5 likes. What a fantastic start. If we can get 100 likes on this live stream heading into what's going to be a hopefully enjoyable night for Tottenham Hotspur after a really good start to the season, I would be absolutely buzzing. But yeah, as I say, leave your likes if you I would really appreciate if you did leave a like on this video. Share the love as well. Share this video on Twitter. I put a tweet live as well, saying that I'm live reacting to this. It's really a big night for us Tottenham fans. As I say, leave your likes. Subscribe if you are new to the Saint Talk Spurs YouTube channel. And there's a live chat there. Get your questions in. We'll be talking about transfers, I'm sure, with the Xavi Simons news that has just, that's been breaking in the last, 24 or so hours. And also, if you would be so kind to leave a super chat, I'm more likely to answer your questions because I can imagine as the stream goes on, there's going to be tons and tons of questions flooding through, but the super chat ones come up and I can see them more in front of me. We've got 30 of you watching already and 15 likes. I appreciate that so much. I'll just respond to some of your comments before I go through, because some of you might not know how the Champions League works since the new format. We obviously saw how it worked in the Europa League, but Champions League is a bigger beast, isn't it? So let's start with a few of your comments. We got Rainier, Common You Spurs, much love from South Africa. I mean, what time is it over there? Is it a reasonable time? Are you having to get up at a silly time? I think it's about similar time over in South Africa, actually. So hope you are well, Rainier. Discover says, all right, Sonny. How are you doing, my friend? Hope you are well. Mika Standard, how are you, Sonny? Come on, you Spurs. How are you all feeling ahead of this one? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Do you want a big team? Who do you want us to get in the Champions League in this league phase? I've got to keep remembering to say league phase, not group stage phase. But next little comment is... Mark Pitt says, okay, MK, like a burr and buzz. Yeah, whatever that means. No idea what that means. Rainier says it's 5:32 in South Africa. So, yeah, it's all right, isn't it? That's not too bad. Still Hero says we still need some more players, new players. Yeah, I understand you completely. And Maximo Omar Vazquez Gonzalez says, come on, you Spurs. So, let's have a little look. We've got about 26 or so minutes. It says I've got my little TNT stream for the draw to my side. I've got the sound muted. All I will say is ahead of the draw, no spoilers in the chat. I don't want people spoiling this one. I want people to sort of react to it. And when I sort of announce a team, that's when we can go through it. So just to let you know the situation, I've got a tweet in front of me from the Spurs Express. They tweeted it yesterday. They say, Spurs will face one team from each pot at home and one team from each pot away. Spurs cannot be made to face an English side in this phase of the competition. And as you all know, there are a lot of English teams in the competition. I'll just go through the teams who will be going into the Champions League phase, which is a mouthful. And these are the projected pots. So in pot 1, and it's based on coefficient as well. In pot 1, we have PSG, Real Madrid, Manchester City, who we can't obviously face, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, who we can't obviously face, Inter Milan, Chelsea, who we can't obviously face, Dortmund, and Barcelona. So one of those... two of those teams will face one of them at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and one of them away. So one of PSG, Real Madrid, Bayern, Inter, Dortmund or Barcelona. So we'll have some tasty ties at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this season. Then you have pot two. Again, based on coefficient, this is. You have Arsenal, we won't be facing. Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid, Benfica, Atalanta, Villarreal, Juventus, Eintracht Frankfurt, who we beat obviously last year in the Europa League, and Club Brugge, who absolutely annihilated Rangers last night. I think it was 9-1 on aggregate. Absolutely embarrassing. Again, some of those teams quite beatable, I'd say. I mean, my prediction for Spurs is I think we could get to the round of 16. I feel like Thomas Frank, even though it's his first season in Europe, I think he's got the quality to be able to do it. And then we have pot three, and top of pot three is the mighty Tottenham Hotspur. There is also PSV, Ajax, Napoli, Sporting Club de Portugal, Olympiacos, Slavia Prague, Bodø Glimt, who we beat in the semi-final of the Europa League last year, and Marseille. So that is pot three. And then in pot four, you have FC Copenhagen, AS Monaco, Galatasaray, which would be a tricky game, as we know from last year. Union Saint-Gilloise, I think it is. It just says Union SG, so I've gone with, I think that's what their surname is. Karabag, who we played last year. Athletic Club Bilbao, who obviously mean a lot to us because that's where we won the Europa League last year. Newcastle, who we won't face. Paphos and Kairat, who are the lowest ranked side based on coefficient in the Champions League, and beat Celtic the other night, the third place team from Kazakhstan. So that is basically it. As I say, that's the teams who we will likely get. Obviously, no English teams. As I said, two teams from each pot, which makes 8 different teams, one home, one away. So we'll have 4 games at home, 4 games away. So really exciting time for Tottenham Hotspur being back in the big time in the Champions League. And I love the Champions League. I love the new format as well. I think it is a really good way, like they've expanded it. I know it's more games, but it's been exciting. It means we get bigger and better games earlier on in the campaign. Mark Pitt says in the chat, have a great day. I'm having a good day so far. I'm a bit nervous about the draw, I will say that. And he says, you said if you get loads of likes, you will be buzzing. Okay, I get what you meant by the buzzing bees. That makes a lot of sense now. Excuse me. And Quinton Perry says, hello from the Pennsylvania. Well, we've got some US Tottenham fans in the chat. Hoping for an easy group stage. Maybe we'll get us... maybe will help us get to January transfer window to strengthen the squad if we can't lock down a quality transfer this window. As I say, guys, there's 65 of you in the chat. If you are new around here, leave your likes, subscribe, leave a super chat as well. I would really appreciate it, and I'm more likely to answer your questions if you leave them in the chat with a super chat. And yeah, transfer talk as well. Lots of news about Xavi Simons circulating. Personally, I mean, I did a video earlier about Xavi Simons, and I've spoke about a few of the transfers we've been linked to over the last 24 to 48 hours. The likes of Lucas Paqueta and Ademola Lookman. Xavi Simons is one that's like, I'm not sure about Xavi Simons in the sense of I would love him. I'll stop right there. I would love us to sign Xavi Simons. He would be one of the perfect 10s. You know, I really wanted Morgan White. I wasn't too, you know, with Eze, I would have liked, but I was more gutted about Morgan Gibbs White than I was Eberici Eze. But to me, I feel like it's one of the ones where with Xavi Simons would be perfect. He's, you know, a high quality player, a player who has got so much potential, has shown it at, you know, PSV, the Netherlands national team, RB Leipzig, and it's just, I think he'll go to Chelsea. There's rumours that he wants 200k a week. We're not really going to pay that. It'd be our highest paid player, I believe. So, yeah. Just let me know in the comments. Obviously, deadline day is on Monday. I'll probably do a live stream in the last hour of deadline day, heading into the, obviously, closing of the window. Shuts at 7 o'clock, actually, deadline day on Monday, which is very early. I'm not sure why that is. Considering I work for TalkSport and, you know, deadline day and transfers are massive, I still haven't understood why that is the case, that deadline day is shutting at 7 o'clock instead of the traditional 11 o'clock at night. But yeah, let me know. As I say, get your questions in, transfer related, Champions League related, Thomas Frank related, start of the season related. I keep saying the word related. Just get them questions in and I will answer them as and when they come. Still Hero says, trophy coming our way again. I mean, I don't think we'll be winning the Champions League, but as I say, if we can get to the round of 16, I would be ecstatic about that. I think that's a good first season for Thomas Frank. Obviously, focusing on getting up that league table, being able to, really, strengthen this side. And as I say, I think what we've done in the transfer window so far has been good, but it's one of those ones where we still need a bit more. Ahead of Monday, we still need a bit more. And yeah, it's one of those things. We can't go into a season without a certain creator in the 10 role. Not having James Maddison for a majority of the season. Dan Kulusevski has an unknown return date. So it's one of those ones where I'm like, we could do without. I mean, I know our midfielders look good at the start of the season. I think Sarr, Pelini and Bentancur, Berval have all looked quite good. But we still need a bit more creativity. It can't all be on Mohamed Kudus and Richarlison or Solanke, whoever plays up top, Brennan Johnson as well. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We've still got, a whole weekend for Daniel Levy to do some magic. Also, I am, and I'm not sure if I've mentioned this yet on videos. I do so many videos nowadays. I will be at the Bournemouth game on Saturday. I'm absolutely ecstatic about that. Luckily, I've got some tickets for a friend of mine, myself and my dad going. We sit in the South Stand. So if you see me in and around the stadium, don't be afraid. Come and say hello. I'm always keen to chat to Spurs fans, especially now I've got a bit of a community with 93 people watching the live stream. If all of you go and like this live stream right now, more people watch it. We're on the road to 10,000 subs for the Saint Talk Spurs YouTube channel. I want to get so many Spurs fans, ahead of, this new season, going into this new Champions League campaign. So if you all leave a like now, I'll be very happy. And obviously subscribe if you're new as well. And leave your super chats and questions in the chat if you've just joined. John22161 says, afternoon, Sonny. Hope you're doing well, John. Dan Davenport, who is a regular contributor on the streams, in the comments section on my videos, says, hey, Sonny, you okay, buddy? Whenever Chelsea lose a match, give Jason Cundy some stick. The problem is, Chelsea are looking quite strong. They're looking quite strong. Who are your favourites of the Champions League going into this year? I've obviously just read the list of teams out. Do you think Real Madrid have a chance to go again? Manchester City, or is it PSG? I mean, we gave PSG a run for their money. You've got to remember, only a couple of weeks ago. Declan Doe says we will get a favourable group stage. It depends. We're in pot 3, so we're bound to get, 4 tricky teams. But it will be interesting. And I'm intrigued to see how this goes, because obviously they pulled the first teams out of pot 1. And so we won't know our full roster of teams until it's fully out. But I can, when it pulls out, say, Real Madrid and then Spurs, then I'll know that, Tottenham are playing Real Madrid. And then at the end, I'll be able to rack it and see Tottenham's full fixture list, because then they go pot by pot, I believe, to sort of title up. It's sort of, they have a weird supercomputer who works out through some algorithm. That's what I'll say, because that covers my ass. Luke Griffiths, hello, mate. How are you doing? Ndombele or Winks? I'd go with Winks. He started a Champions League final. Tottenham lads. Ndombele was terrible. Dan Davenport says, Deccan Doe, they don't do group stages anymore. It's a league phase. Yeah, got to remember, it's a league phase, not the group stage. Slightly different. I think this league phase is good. Obviously, we know there's like a whole 30 or something teams in the league. There's different, obviously, you've got the top tier, the middle tier, and the bottom tier. The bottom tier don't drop down to the Europa League anymore. They just get booted out. The middle tier have a playoff, and then the top tier goes straight through to the round of 16. There's a round of 32 playoff game that happens with the middle tier teams. Sort of what happened, I think Manchester City and PSG played that middle tier game, which is surprising considering PSG went on to win it. So gives you a chance this year, doesn't it? So even if you finish in that middle tier, you can go on and win it. And we've got about 16 minutes till the draw commences. And I'm really excited about this one. Still here, it says, I'm hoping and praying we get him. Is that Xavi Simons? Yeah, I'd love Xavi Simons. Honestly, I'd love Xavi Simons. Would be class. Roy Park says, what is the deal with Chelsea dropping Xavi Simons' interest? Is this true? Now, they still want him. Obviously, they need to get rid of Nkunku, who looks like he's set to go to AC Milan. They got Here We Go earlier by Fabrizio Romano. But as us Spurs fans know, do we ever trust the Here We Go from Fabrizio? Probably not anymore like we used to after what's happened this summer. So they need to get rid of him. They obviously want to get Garnacho, and they'd like Xavi Simons ideally. But again, considering how Chelsea have operated since, when Roman Abramovich was there, and we all thought they chucked money at wages, they're actually quite being frugal with how they divvy up wages now. So they're not keen to also pay him 200k a week. As I said, 200k a week makes Xavi Simons one of our highest paid players. It probably makes, Xavi Simons up there. I think he'll definitely be on more than more than Cole Palmer at least, but I'm not sure about Chelsea's wage structure. I just know through friends who are Chelsea fans that they don't pay as much as they used to on certain players. Like, I remember stages where like Ruben Loftus-Cheek was on like 50k. They'd not been, when he was really young as well, which is interesting. Roy Park says I was going to say Van der Vaart. Van der Ven needs to get on the phone with Xavi ASAP. Exactly. We need to be pulling out those stops to get him over the line. Hopefully, Alex Whiten says Xavi Simons to Spurs edging closer. Apparently, 200k a week. Who is reporting that? Have you got any updates? I've seen someone in a group chat as well saying stuff about Xavi Simons. Has there been an update? Have I missed the update? That is what I'd like to know. Jonathan Boyd says, "Big up, Sonny. Are we going to see the draw happen on your live stream?" I won't be showing the draw. There won't be me showing it, but I'll be reacting to it. I've got a stream next to me, and I'll be reacting to it as it happens. So just sort of, why would you want to see them, pull the balls out the bowl and do the little Tottenham Hotspur? You want to watch it on here. You want to see a Tottenham fan, a massive Tottenham fan, react to it live as it happens. And as I say, 42 likes so far, 95 of you watching. Let's get 100 people in this live stream. And if you all like the video now, I'll be very, very happy. Leave your questions as well, your super chats, and subscribe if you have not already. Roy Park says to Dan Davenport, "Does that mean we are really in for him?" Has there been an update? Has anyone seen an update? Obviously, I've not got Twitter in front of me. I've only got the live stream. Roy Park says, "Imagine everything is okay and Lee refuses to pay his wages. Typical Spurs board with Baldy at the head." Yeah, I'll move on from that swiftly. John 22161 says Richie is good on the left, especially when Solanke is at full fitness. He was good, wasn't he? There was a game a few years ago, I think, against Liverpool, where we luckily beat them through a controversial offside goal, or onside goal, offside goal. And Richie was playing on the left, and he assisted a really good goal for Son. So Richie can play there. So we have got versatility. So maybe a 10 is more important than a left winger. Although I did a video, as I say earlier, I wouldn't mind Ademola Lookman as well. I would really like Ademola Lookman if that's possible. And he does look like he wants to leave Atalanta this summer. Mark Pitt says, "I hope that you get a YouTube trophy very soon." You have to get 100k subs to get one of them. So you better get subscribing if you want me to see with one of those trophies or plaques behind me on streams like this. Bin Guy says, "We should change name into Tottenham Shakespeare. The whole thing is a big fat lie." That's quite good, actually. I'd expect expressions oozing to come up with something like that. Jonathan Boyd says, "What team do you hope to avoid the most?" That's a really good question. Let me just look again at, let me have a look. Oh, I've just seen, actually, Alistair Gold has said, Tottenham sense an opportunity and I believe to have verbally offered a sum, sums us up. Verbally offered a sum close to the 60.4 million that Leipzig are looking for. That's been done with the hope that a deal will get done amid those Chelsea fears. We're going to get our hearts broken again, aren't we? We're going to get our hearts broken again. A lot of people have come onto my streams and my videos and my tweets. There's one person in particular, I forgot his name, who always says that I'm jinxing transfers. I'm going to be like you guys now and just, when I see the player holding up the shirt and it's been tweeted by Spurs, that is when I will believe it. That's when I'm going to think, it's done. It's done. It's there. It's done. David Ornstein's actually just tweeted that Arsenal forward Kai Havertz to undergo surgery after decision made as best course of action for his knee issue. So not good for Arsenal, especially as they're in this Champions League draw as well. So let me answer Jonathan Boyd's question then, who said, let me just find, what team do you hope to avoid? Now, it's a tricky one because ideally, the thing is, and like you guys, I want to see good games. I want to see us go up against some of the best teams. I would say, ideally, I'd avoid PSG. I'd avoid PSG again. We've seen us play them. I know we gave them a good game, but when they're at full fitness, when they're at full flow, they're going to punish us badly. I wouldn't mind avoiding Barcelona because, again, they'll be up for it. I wouldn't mind, playing Bayern. I know we've played Bayern a few times, even some friendlies, but Harry Kane, be good if Harry Kane comes to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for that one. Real Madrid, I think, would be a fun game. Inter would be good. And Dortmund. The thing is, with pot one, it's a bit tricky, like teams to avoid, because with pot one, it's got three English teams in it. It's got Liverpool, City, and Chelsea. So the teams that you'd like to play technically would be Dortmund, or there'd be Inter, maybe. I mean, something like that. Pot two, I'd probably avoid Atletico Madrid, and maybe I don't know about Juventus. I'm not sure, but apart from that, it's not the scariest Champions League roster I've ever seen. I mean, Napoli, I would like to avoid because I feel like I can just see the headlines. I can see Conte, getting one over us. So that would be the answer to my that question, Jonathan. Those would be the teams I want to avoid. Roy Park says, Levy, I'll give you 150, but with 2 years of hard work, it may rise to 180. Joke if this is what keeps it deal from crossing the line. That's the thing. We're just a bit, we've always been like this. We always I said it on the most recent episode of Inside Spurs for Talksport. I said we try and shop in Harrods with a little card. Like was it the champagne taste beer money? It's never going to be enough. We need to be pushing more and doing that sort of thing. I've just seen 121 of you in the stream already. We're about less than about 8 or 9 minutes away from the Champions League draw starting. They do a lot of silly, well, I don't know what to call it, all for the ceremony. So it probably won't start at dot 5, probably start at 5:30 or whatnot. So ahead of that, 121 of you watching. The aim today is to get to 100 likes. I would be ecstatic if we could get to 100 likes. And as I say, subscribe if you're new around it and you're just discovering me. And also leave your questions about transfers, about Champions League. And also, if you would be so kind to leave a super chat, I'm more likely to answer your questions. Right, we got up to Dan Davenport. I think Bayern will be strong contenders. I mean, last year they did sort of, they weren't. I don't know what it was about Bayern last year. And I'll be honest, I don't think they've had the best transfer window. I think Luis Diaz is an okay signing. Musiala will be a massive loss. I mean, they were lucky last night to get through in the cup. I'm not sure the side they played, but they won 3-2, which, just about, and they had Harry Kane. I think Bayern, to me, I think they'll be up there. I think they'll be in and around, but I still think City, Liverpool, PSG, Real Madrid are probably stronger on paper, at least, compared to them. Roy Park, in response to that, says, bloody chat keeps going. For sure, Dan, they're destroying the Bundesliga this season. I mean, they're just better than every team in the Bundesliga. Bayer Leverkusen have fallen off a little bit. Dortmund are not as strong as they used to be. So, yeah, it's a weird one. SDFC Benny says, just end the window. I'm looking forward to not talking about transfers for a little while. I'm a bit sick of it. I've got a holiday actually coming up in about this time next month, and I'm looking forward to just no transfer talk. I'm sick of transfer talk. I just hope we do a little bit over the weekend, but don't, hold your breath. Don't hold your breath, or whatever the saying is. Matt Pitt says, under Thomas, I do think we will very well under him. I guess, are you a Mark Pitts? Is it, who's Thomas? Thomas Tuchel, or do you mean Thomas Frank? I didn't understand from the spelling who you meant there. Yeah, I love Thomas Frank. I did a little analysis video on him the other day. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch that after this stream. And I sort of say, the way he's setting up our midfield, the way we played against Manchester City was phenomenal. And as I say, I'm going to my first league game or game of the season against Bournemouth this Saturday at 3:00. I'm absolutely so excited to be back at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It'd be really, really good. Declan Doe says, PSG, Barcelona and Bayern are favourable to win the Champions League, but don't rule out the mighty Spurs. Yeah. I mean, stranger things have happened. It's a knockout competition. But also, if we win the Champions League and finish 17th, could Thomas Frank lose his job? I'm joking. What does SDFC? Benny says, Richie has won me over since the UEL final. Praying his form is consistent. He's been fantastic. As I say, I think there's always been a good player in Richarlison. He's just got to stay fit. He was fantastic against Burnley. Right, amazing against Burnley, but it was Burnley. But even against Manchester City, he had to play a bit of a different role. But the assists and the run against, to sort of manipulate John Stones like that and make him fall over, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Just take a little sip of water because, this waffling does get to the old throat. Back to your questions then. Steve Hero says, Richie is great. I keep saying that once he stays 100% fit, he's a pest to a defender. He is, because he's sort of like, he's a bit like Solanke as well. They've both got that attribute where they're like, like will pin a defender and really like give them a torrid time. I wouldn't like to face Richarlison. Even we're seeing more now from him what he was doing at Everton, which was, being a pain, linking up really well with. I think Kudus has improved his form. I just think if we had a 10 in this side, I mean, wow! Like what the chances we create, the balls being played in behind, what you could run onto, the crosses. Aerially, he's actually really good. Sometimes he misjudges it, and he's got a bit of a 50p head. But yeah, really, really good. Really good. JTB THFC says Simon is just a PR exercise for Levy. I mean, as I say, I will believe it when I see it when it comes to that. We've got about 4 minutes till the stream starts for the Champions League draw. As I say, I'll be reacting to it live. So bear with me because this format and how they do it is a bit weird. But as I say, 125 of you watching, 62 likes. Let's do it, all of you. If you're in this chat now, leave a like. Let's get to my goal of 100 likes. I would love it. And 125 people watching this is crazy. There's so many people live streaming, and the fact that 125 of you have taken your time to watch me and listen to what I've got to say about Tottenham, about Xavi Simons, etc. I appreciate that. And as I say, leave your questions, subscribe if you know, leave super chats if you could be so kind as well. JTB THFC again says, personally, I'd love to see Yamal at the Lane. Do you mean as a transfer or in the Champions League? Obviously, you mean in the Champions League. I just feel like, yeah, like he would be so good to watch live, wouldn't he? It was a bit like when we faced Barcelona back in, I think it was when we got to the Champions League final. Or was that? Yeah, it was when we got to the Champions League final because we started the season off at Wembley, didn't we? And then we played Manchester City at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It was Messi in that group stage. Just watching him, even though he tore us a new one, he was so good. John Goldthorpe says, Sonny, has anyone ever said you're a young Ali Gold? I've had that once or twice. I have had that once or twice, actually. I'm not sure. I take that as a compliment. I think Ali Gold is a beautiful human being, especially when he gives us updates on transfers. I also get that I look like Harry Kane a little bit. I get, I was going to say young Harry Kane. I'm only a little bit younger than Harry Kane. I get, yeah, those are the main ones I've got. Ali Gold and mainly Harry Kane. Harry Kane usually happens once a month, which I find quite funny. Let's see. Next question from STL Hero $sign says, we have a great defense lineup. I get the thing is, and I'd like to throw this question to you guys. What do you make of us loaning out Luka Vuskovic? Do you think that makes sense? Because Tottenham's still keen apparently to sign a defender, which I'm not. I would like to see Luka Vuskovic. I think but then he's going to get more game time, so it makes I can understand it a bit as well. But yeah, I think Romero started the season well. I think Van der Ven, if we could keep them both fit, it'd be really good. Jed Spence has looked incredible. Pedro Porro, just as a creator, an attacker, a crosser. Just looks really, really good. Dan Davenport says we should try get Conor Gallagher. I've seen he's been linked with a move to Palace, a return to Palace. Obviously, they had him on loan a couple of years back, which was very interesting. But yeah, I mean, Conor Gallagher, I don't know, because I feel like we've got a lot of midfielders now. I would prefer Lucas Paqueta because at least he can play the 10. Conor Gallagher, I don't think can. Feral Ferret says Edgar Davids or Berbatov. I mean, that's really tricky. Berbatov was a fantastic striker. Edgar Davids was iconic in his own way. Not as good at Tottenham as he was at his other clubs. I'd probably just go Berbatov for that one. I feel like Berbatov is just, he's so cool, calm, and collected. He's been on TalkSport a couple of times as well. He's just so he's the most laid back person in every walk of life, which is great. Then we have Nick Della Torre says Levy needs to change his tactics like managers have to. It's just poor. Like, it looks like Fabio Paratici is going to be coming back, doing more transfers. Johan Lang, I think a lot of the negative stuff around the transfer window is on him as well. So yeah, it is really intriguing. Do you think that Spurs will face Harry Kane again? I think we will. I could imagine we will have an agreement with Bayern to bloody play them every year. We played them like 3 times, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get them in the Champions League. And actually, moves on to Axel Garcia's question of who would I like to face in the Champions League. What I'll do is I'm gonna go through who I'd like. I'm gonna pick as I said the format at the beginning of the stream. The format is you play a team home and away from each pot, so you play 8 teams. I'm gonna pick then. So from pot one, which has PSG, Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern, Liverpool, Inter, Chelsea, Dortmund, and Barcelona. Obviously can't play the English teams. I would pick Real Madrid. I'd like to play Real Madrid. I think that'd be fun. Like Mbappe. I'd like to see us go up against Real Madrid. I think it'd be a really good test for Thomas Frank. And I'm going to pick Dortmund because I think that's not a bad little fixture, is it? Nice little away trip if you go there. We'll bring them here. Show them who has the better wall. I think that would make a lot of sense. I would like that. From pot two, you got Arsenal, who can't face, Bayer Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid, Benfica, Atalanta, Villarreal, Juventus, Frankfurt, and Club Brugge. I would go with maybe Juventus. I think that'd be quite fun. And I would go for Benfica because Lisbon. If you haven't been to Lisbon, some city, I would love that as an away day. And then from pot three, it has Tottenham Hotspur, PSV, Ajax, Napoli, Sporting, Olympiacos. I think that's Red Star Belgrade or Bodø, Glimt, and Marseille. I would pick. I mean, could pick Sporting as well. Probably, I would have liked to avoid Olympiacos. I'd like to avoid Marseille. Probably Ajax. Maybe a return to Bodø Glimt would be quite fun as well. And then pot four has got AS Monaco. A return with Eric Dyer would be quite fun. Copenhagen, we've got Newcastle in there. We've got Union Saint-Gilloise, Galatasaray, Karabag, Athletic Bilbao, Kairat, and Paphos. Probably Paphos would be fun. And then maybe Union Saint-Gilloise. And now the draw. Well, I was going to say the draw is underway. They're playing a little montage. They've got the live choir singing the Champions League anthem. Oh, I've got it on mute, so obviously for copyright and stuff like that. But just that Champions League anthem. I love the Europa League song. The Europa League song. Let me know in the comments. Actually, do you prefer the Europa League song or the Champions League song? Because I think the Europa League song is more catchy. The whoa, but the Champions League anthem is still iconic, isn't it? It means so much to teams like Spurs, who, we've only been playing in the Champions League since 2010-11. I remember the 2010-11 season. And now we got there, beating Man City. I'm actually on a show, an Inside Spurs show, with David Bentley in a couple of weeks. So it'll be interesting to see what he has to say about qualifying for the Champions League. I'll be sure to ask him about that. Right, back to your questions and the chat then. Phil Bill says Conor Gallagher is way overrated. I agree. I think it would have been made more sense if we'd signed him when we were linked to him before, but Chelsea don't really like dealing with us. Woody says, definitely not trying to get ideas on how to beat you in FPL. What Spurs players do you believe will score the most FPL points, or at least big player for goals, assists, clean sheets, etc. this season? Key player. I see what you're trying to do here, Kieran. Mohamed Kudus is going to get points. I think Richarlison's a good little pickup as well. If you want to get maybe a different differential goal scorer, I think that'd be quite fun. Joey's highlight says, how optimistic are you about Xavi? In my opinion, has a higher ceiling than Eze. Ironically, idiots in Highbury might have just helped us. Yeah, I think Xavi Simons has way more potential than Eze, but because Eze's older, but Eze is Premier League proven. So it depends. I mean, we've seen, Timo Werner look good in the Bundesliga. Florian Wirtz. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on at Liverpool. So yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? To see what will happen there. James Morgan, I don't want Simons if he wants Chelsea. It's that simple. I mean, Thomas Frank did say that funnily enough, didn't he? He said he would. He don't want players who don't want to come to the club. But I think I actually would. From what I've seen, it looks like Xavi Simons just wants to play in the Premier League in general. I don't think he actually is too fussed. And also, why would he want to go to Chelsea? I feel like he'd get more game time at us compared to Chelsea. It's not a given, is it? But it's going to be really, really interesting. The way the cookie crumbles over this deal. Rob the Bob, I'm not gonna read your comment because I don't want to be clipped up saying those sort of things. Ed Deering says, do we need a 10 though? As I feel Papa Sarr has been unreal during the start of the season, as I feel we could strengthen other areas such as backup centre-back. I think we've got enough centre backs though, like Kevin Danzo, Dragason's coming back. Kota Takai, Romero and Van der Ven. I feel like a 10. I get what you mean about Saar, but Saar lacks sometimes a goal threat. Sometimes he's passing in the sort of like breaking the lines. Like he's good at breaking up the play and he's got legs and he's good at arriving and he can finish, he can assist. I'm not saying that, but yeah, I feel like it's one of those ones where I don't know. I feel like we do need a 10. I feel like, there's a reason. I mean, Morgan Gibbs White would have been the perfect, would have been the perfect transfer for me. But Xavi Simons, I would love as well. And as I see now, the Champions League stream is well underway. They're doing all the ceremonial stuff. The people who, I mean, Reshman Chowdhury, obviously, he works for Talksport a bit. She's hosting. You've got Alexander Sefer in the UEFA Presidents coming up on stage. And then you've got the two guys, the one who looks like Claudio Ranieri and the one who looks a bit like Buzz Lightyear, who just seem to do this ceremony. Like, you never see them outside of UEFA ceremonies, which I find quite funny. Right, going back to the chat. And Patrick Masico says, how often do you do this? I'm kind of enjoying the show. Tell me whether having Saar in the 10 with a double pivot or Polini and Bentancur would be better than dropping Saar for Xavi. I stream quite regularly. I'm going to do more streams. I've only done about, I think this is my 5th or 6th stream. I do them like reacting to certain things with the transfers. I did a watch along at the weekend, like this, when there's something going on where it makes more sense to just watch it live. I'll probably do one on deadline day as well, sort of going into the last hour and, reacting when the window shuts, and we'll have a chat about how Spurs' summer has been. And as your second point, let's read that again. I'm kind of enjoying the. Tell me whether having Saar in the 10 with a double pivot, Polini and Bentancur. The only thing about that is, and it works against, the likes of Manchester City, where you probably need more tacklers, more people like that. But there's going to be times where we need someone to thread a pass and dribble at players. Kudos could be that, but I think we need a bit more. Like if Kudos gets injured, then we're worried as well. That's where I think we need some more creativity, in my opinion. JTBTHFC says 4-2 to Barcelona. Messi, I was there, and when we spanked Real Madrid 3-1, yeah, a couple of great years we had at what's it called, Wembley. I mean, when we beat Dortmund as well was fantastic. Really, really good. Aki Sheg says Bayern at home, came back at the lane. Yeah, I would love that. The fans would love that, even if he does put on a masterclass. And JTB THFC is a mouthful every time I say it. No, keep Luka Vuskovic for me. Yeah, it looks like his loan to Hamburg is going to happen. I think Fabrizio was confirming that earlier. Transfer News Alfie says, I feel confident about this draw. I also as well do feel quite confident. I feel like, we're not going to get maximum points. We are going to have to play some tough teams. Even Decondo says PSG, Barcelona and Bayern are favourable, but don't rout the mighty Spurs. But I just feel like they're going to be tricky games. We know they're going to be tricky games, so we'll just have to see when it happens. Samson, the Spurs fan, regular contributor. Hello, mate. He says Europa League and hi, Sonny. Yeah, we're going to be wearing that special Europa League patch, actually. And also, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I've wore a special Messi Adidas shirt just for the occasion because, nothing screams Champions League like Lionel Messi. And I can't really turn around where I'm sat, but I've got it says Messi 10 on the back as well. Hope you like the T-shirt. But... Come on, you Spurs says, come on, you Spurs, and sends a little Gareth Bale love heart. Feral Ferret, I think if we get a 10 and left wing, we're good for top 4. What do you guys think about Ademola Lookman? Would you take Ademola Lookman as well as an option? I'd be interested to hear that. Taoni Russell Zulu says, how are you, Sonny? I'm Taoni Russell Cambrai, watching you from Zimbabwe. Hello from Zimbabwe. How are you doing? What are you thinking about the Champions League draw? I'd like to know all your thoughts about this. Jaden Hardy Disciple says, personally, I feel good about depth at centre-back. We should hopefully stay healthier with Frank Stahl. I've been saying this a lot as well. Rather spend money and time on left wing or an adaptive 10. I agree 100%. And if you guys, I haven't got Twitter in front of me because I've got the stream here. I've got you guys in front of me here. I haven't got Twitter. So if you see any updates on Xavi Simons, get them in the chat. I'll talk about it and react to it. Definitely. Liston Hines says Simon is just doing an essay on us. Don't get excited, people. I'm not getting excited. We'll see what happens. Samson the Spurs fan says Saar is class this season. He's been phenomenal, hasn't he? He's been absolutely phenomenal. AZ Spurs says Sonny, looking at Chelsea, they need wingers, not 10s. I don't believe the Chelsea talk Xavi is coming. I like your I like your positivity. But yeah, Garnacho, I can see him doing Garnacho, and I can see them also doing trying to get both still. It's what Chelsea do. But then even like João Pedro can play the 10. It gives like Delap more of an option through the middle. I know they're looking, so Nkunku looks like he's off. Nicholas Jackson they want to get rid of. But we will see about that. We will see. AK Sheg says, "Can you pull up the pots on the screen?" I can't, sadly. It's just a plain stream, but I will be telling you what's happening as it happens, literally in front of me. So don't worry about that. Ethan, or if you want AK Shegs, I can go through the pots again. I'll go through the pots one more time. I'll reply to these last comments and then I'll do that. Ethan Dadolf says, Lookman and Simmons, and we are back. It would be class if we could get both of them. It really would. And the duty says, I can never say this guy's name. Akalush and Lookman, just get it done. Yeah, he looks really good as well, that player. Really good. Is he the one from Monaco? I get confused. There's so many people being linked. It's a bit crazy. And AK Shake says all good. Thanks, Sonny. Yeah, I'll read it again. What's that? Tottenham have a good relationship with the German club, as you. I like. Paul O'Keefe just tweeted AI from deep with a screamer and says Tottenham have a good relationship with the German club, as would you if you took Timo Werner off their hands for 18 months, which is fantastic. A lot of people, Zach Jalab in my WhatsApp group, is getting annoyed that the draw is not taking place. We've been live for 41 minutes. And yeah, we're watching all these silly videos and promos. But this gives us time then for me to read out the... Let me just get it on my... Read out the pots again, just so you guys know who Tottenham could face in the Champions League. So, without further ado, pot 1 is PSG, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Inter, Chelsea, Dortmund, and Barcelona. Remember, if I'm saying an English name or an English team name, we won't be playing them because, in the league phases, like it was in the group phase, you can't play English teams. Pot 2 is Arsenal, Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid, Benfica, Atalanta, Villarreal, Juventus, Eintracht Frankfurt, and Club Brugge. Pot 3 is the mighty Tottenham Hotspur Europa League champions, PSV, Ajax, Napoli, Sporting, CP, Olympiacos, Slavia Prague, Bodø Glimt, and Marseille. And in pot 4 is FC Copenhagen, AS Monaco, Galatasaray, Union SG, Karabag, Athletic Club, Newcastle, Paphos, and Kairat. As I said, and as I've said a lot, who do you want to face? Who do you want to avoid? Get all your opinions in the chat. 113 of you watching. Earlier, we were closing in on 200. So if you leave a like, more people are likely to see this. And also subscribe if you're not already. And leave a super chat if you would be so generous. And I'm more likely to answer your questions if you put in a super chat. I'm just going to take a quick sip of water as this weird Champions League. It's actually quite embarrassing. It's actually so embarrassing, this video. It's like what is it? It's like a weird promo trailer, but it's like Sefrin going around Europe. That guy, and with Zlatan, maybe? Is that Zlatan? I can't tell. I don't know if he's recruiting or something for the draw or whatnot. Is that Zlatan? It looks like it. He's got shorter hair, is what's confused me. Is that Zlatan? I can't tell. I mean, he's got a lion on his back, and he's at Lake Como, so I'm not sure. It is Latan. He looks quite different, doesn't he? But yeah, going back to the chat, Martha Manda says, Xavi Simons to Spurs, here we go. It's not been here we go. It's not been here we go. Don't fall for a here we go. It's not going to happen. It's not going to. I'm going on Fabrizio's Twitter just to check because I've been so. Here we go thingy, didn't he? Nothing. You're lying. Why are you lying? I don't want to hear liars. Aaron Mutala says Matoma. I'm not sure about Matoma. I actually think Matoma's quite overrated. That's my controversial hot take in this chat. AK Sheg says, I prefer to avoid any Italian teams. Feel like we'd struggle to break them down as they're typically quite defensive. I mean, what Italian teams have we got in there? I don't know why I keep closing the Twitter down on my phone because I need to see what the pots are because I can't. I'm struggling to memorize them. So the Italian teams you've got Inter, you've got Atalanta, you've got Juventus, you've got Napoli in pot 3. I mean, they're so clear of the other ones. And then you've got, is there another one in there? I think that's it. I mean, Inter, I think would be, I wouldn't mind facing Inter. Atalanta, I wouldn't mind either, especially if we take Adamola Lookman off them. Juventus, I wouldn't mind as well. And so ideally, I'd like to avoid, um, I would avoid Napoli out of all the Italian sides if I had to pick through all of them. JTB THFC says, please just call me Jake or JTB, and it is just me, or do all the UEFA officials look corrupt? I don't know, but yeah, I'm not going to answer that. But yeah, I'll just call you JTB because otherwise I'm getting a mouthful saying that. And Patrick Masoga says, which Premier League team would you prefer to meet on the quarterfinals, just in case we push that further? I think you can face them in the you can face English teams in the round of 16 as well. I have to double check that, but I mean, I'd obviously pick Manchester City. We beat them every time, so I'd pick them. Liverpool, I'd probably avoid because they're very good up front. I mean, you could get there in defence. Chelsea, I'd avoid. Arsenal, I'd avoid in a round of quarters, and Newcastle, I think, would give a good game in Europe. I think their fans would, St James would be crazy on a European night. Absolutely class. Which would be really, really interesting. Chip Caser says, your pod is more measured, informative, and interesting than the large majority of the ranty, erratic content. Common News Furs from Sweden. Big up, Sweden. Big up, Lucas Bergvall. What do you make of Lucas Bergvall? What does Sweden make of Lucas Bergvall? Is there a chance that you could convince Alexander Isak to come to Spurs? But yeah, I like to be more level-headed than some streams and videos. I like to look at it from both sides, and I just don't see the point of clickbaiting, rage baiting. I just want to get my opinions across in videos. Obviously I title them and thumbnail them in particular ways, but yeah, at current, there's no point clickbaiting. You've just got to, just do good content. I'm sitting here reacting to the Champions League draw, answering your questions. Yeah, that's how I like to do it. That's just always the way. And we've got 105 of you watching at current. We've been going for about 47 minutes. I'm loving it. This is probably my favorite stream at the moment until we end up pulling PSG and Real Madrid out. But yeah, as I say, keep leaving your questions, leave your super chats as well. I really appreciate if you leave super chats because it helps me, do these streams a lot. And as I say, get your questions in. If all 103 of you like the video now, that would be fantastic. And also subscribe if you are new around it. As I say, I'm currently on, at the time of recording, wow, my subs have gone up quite a bit since just earlier. 9,623 subscribers, which is fantastic. Closing in on the 10,000. I think I've just looked at the stats now. During this whole stream, nearly 2,000 of you have been watching at different stages, which is fantastic. But as I say, I've also got a tweet live. If you want to go and retweet that and promote it to all different people, I had Billy T actually retweet the tweet earlier, which was really kind of him. And at the moment, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, speaking of Swedish legends, he's currently accepting an award. I think we're going to have a lot of this award stuff. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if the draw is not until about 6-ish. But as I say, we can sit here, we can talk about Xavi Simons, we can talk about, different transfers and stuff that you guys want to, get off your chest. Talk about all different sorts of things. Luka Vuckovic's potential loan move, Daniel Levy, the transfer window so far, the start of the Premier League season, getting Doncaster. How do you feel about getting Doncaster in the Carabao Cup? That's when it's going to be really random, when we're playing Doncaster one week and then maybe Real Madrid or PSG the week after. But that's what it's all about at Top Flight Football. And also, what did you guys make of Manchester United losing to I was going to say Tranmere, losing to Grimsby? Crazy result, that, isn't it? Actually, when you sit back and look at it, considering like the amount of money that United have spent on forwards. I mean, Mbuemo Cunha, you should have come to Spurs. You should have come to Spurs. Right, moving back then. Vidar Björk says, I don't want Gallagher. I think the boat has passed on Gallagher. I feel like we need a 10 who can also, I keep saying Lucas Paqueta. If you can get him out of West Ham, I would love that, because if you think about it, He can play the 10, he can play the 8, he can play a 6, I think, as well. I think he would also dovetail, he knows Mohamed Kudus. I think he would dovetail nicely with Bentancur or Palhinha or Papa Matasar. I would really, really like that. But yeah, Mark Pitt says if we do not get any players in this window, maybe we can get them in the winter window. Again, Tottenham don't do too much business in the winter window. It'll probably be a loan. It'll probably be, small fees here and there. But it would probably be that they're going to give Frank a little bit this summer, see how he gets on, and then next year maybe go for it a bit more. I think that would be quite interesting to see how that develops as it goes on. The Rude Boy Sound says, "Good to see actually see you live." Thank you, mate. I hope you're well. Question: do you think a fit Solanke will allow Frank to play Kudos inside if we do not get a 10? Johnson right, Solanke, Richie left. Kudos under them. I mean, I like the idea of that. I think the only problem is, and it's been mentioned in this stream in the last, nearly hour or so, is depth. If Kudos gets injured, if Richie gets injured, that's where I worry. I think Solanke, when Solanke came, I've always backed Solanke. I thought he had a good season last year, debut season, amidst being injured. He's been injured this year. I think when he came on, at the weekend against City, he was offering just as much as Richarlison was. He had a really good shot, actually. It was such a good little, dig from the edge of the area, which Odebear followed up with. Trafford, for once, made a good save. He didn't do much else in that game apart from that. But yeah, I like the idea of that. I just think we want it. And yeah, Vid the Björk saying, I don't want Conor Gallagher. I echo that, mate. AK Sheg says, Sonny, what's your favourite takeaway after a Spurs match? Now, when I go, I usually, because I've got a friend who has an 1882 season ticket, he sits there. He's got tickets for that, so you get actually a meal in there, part of the ticket price. So usually I eat before the game, that would be, but usually it's a pie. I go traditional at the football. I'm a man of the people. I go for a pie, a pre-match pie. I think it's always class, which is really, really good. I'll tell you what I've never had, and 100 of you in here watching, let me know. I've never actually had Chick King. I've never had Chick King. So maybe this Saturday, me and my old man, because I'm taking him as well. So I'm looking forward to going to a game with him. Maybe we have Chick King. I'm oh my god! I've just seen a huge update from Matt Law saying Tottenham close to agreeing a deal to sign Xavi Simons. I've actually seen Joey Bellissimo, which is a fantastic name, saying it in the chat. Tottenham close to agreeing a deal to sign Xavi Simons following positive talks with RB Leipzig and player. But until transfer is confirmed, there will be nervousness over Chelsea threat. Matt Law covering his backside there, basically saying we've got another Morgan Gibbs-White and Eberici as a situation. But yeah, breaking news as we are about to find out who we play in the Champions League. Matt Law saying, and I'll repeat it one more time, Tottenham close to agreeing a deal to sign Xavi Simons following positive talks with RB Leipzig and player. But until transfer is confirmed, there will be nervousness over the Chelsea threat. So one to keep an eye on there. And as I say, if you've got any questions regarding Xavi Simons, put them in the live chat. OK Shegs also says, agree, Sonny, Paqueta is a great player and we have a great group of Spanish speakers and he'll settle in quickly. Oh, well, we've got, Brazilians speak Portuguese, I believe. So, we've got Richarlison who could, would be really good. And, we've got to think, what you got to think about is these players like a West Ham or whatever have got a big year with the World Cup next year, and they'll want to, get into that. So yeah. And just before, we've now got Jorginho Marchetti, who is the UEFA Deputy General Secretary. He's on the stage now, about to do the draw by the looks of it. I'll just read the last couple of comments, and then we'll be seeing who Tottenham will be facing in the Champions League. But before that, just seen a great comment from JTB. It says, big capitals. Everyone, please like and subscribe to this great channel. Sonny is a top man. Yeah, 103 of you watching. Leave your like, subscribe ahead of this Champions League draw, and also leave your super chats. I would appreciate that as well. As the draw is, I guess, I've got it on mute, but I assume he is explaining the format, which I've done on this stream a couple of times. I'm ahead of the game. I'm explaining the format early doors here. Patrick Misako says, I've been a Spurs fan since 2014. I enjoy it. The 5 positive takeaways after every game, whether we lose or win. it's what we do. We need to be positive after games. We need to be positive and look at the bigger picture. Joe Bellissimo says, haha, thank you. Italian restaurants are easy for reservations. I do love a good Italian. Do love a good Italian. Or Turkish. AZ Spurs says there are people on X saying Xavi is done. Yeah, I've just said Matt Law is reporting, well, not that it's done, but the close to agreeing a deal. But we were close to agreeing a deal for Morgan Gibbs White. We were close to agreeing a deal for Eberechi Eze. So until I see proper confirmation, I'm not jumping the gun. As you know, on the stream, they're now panning to the crowd. Nasser El Khalifi from PSG is there. I don't know who's going to be there for Tottenham. Maybe Ledley King, I would assume, as a Spurs representative. I don't know if Daniel Levy will be there. Chip Case says, me and my friends and fam are proud of Bergvall from a Swedish perspective. He's a skilled, elegant grafter. He's got so much potential. Sort Isak as a 16-year-old, he's really stood out now for wrong reasons. Yeah, he's kicking up a right fuss, isn't he? But yeah, I mean, Bergvall, he could be a 10 maybe. He's got the world at his feet. Then AK Sheg says, come on, you Spurs. Let's see who we get in the Champions League draw. As I say as well to the 107 of you watching right now, no spoilers in the chat. I've warned you. I don't want any spoilers until I say it out loud. If you're watching it on another stream or you have a notification or you're in a group chat, try and keep it a bit stumm because I want to react to it live and give a natural reaction. I'm watching it on a stream out of the corner of my screen, and they're showing the pots on the screen now. Pot one, and it's showing how they basically get picked and how they pick them from there on in. Jonathan Gray says, would Norgard from Brentford would work? I don't know if you've seen Jonathan, but he is an Arsenal player. I don't know Norgard. I don't know if you mean Damsgaard or Jensen or Janelt or any of those players, but I will confirm that Norgard from Brentford has gone to Arsenal. But yeah, as I say, they're showing how the format works, and I explained it. I'll explain it one more time for any new guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, who have joined the stream late. Major breaking? Yeah, I'm sorry. I've just seen some more Twitter stuff about Xavi Simons, but it's already what I've read so far. And also say about Norgard, if you mean Norgard, João Palhinha is the Norgard of this team. But as I said, so Spurs will face one team from each pot at home and one team from each pot away, making 8, I believe. Spurs cannot be made to face an English side in the phase of the competition, but that's been the case for many, many years. And Saz30 says, yeah, got to be Damsgaard. AK Sheg says, I like Damsgaard, but don't think he'll improve the starting 11. As Frank said, we don't need any more squad players. But he's good because he'll come in and he'll, like, Frank knows what he does. He's a grafter. He can track back, etc. And yeah, it'll be interesting to know whether, I feel like it's good because then if Darren Kulusevski and Maddison comes in, it offers competition. But I'm getting too excited again about Xavi Simons. It's really annoying me. It's really annoying me that I'm now getting worked up about Xavi Simons. I'm going to have to take some water. I'm getting stressed. People, as I explain the Champions League format, which I think we all know by now. JTB says, I'm watching both. Oh my God, that new Zlatan video was so cringe. UEFA, you've got an amazing format and competition here. Don't cringe us out with weirdness. And Garwood says, a team is drawn manually and then a software decides what teams they play. This is a bit woke, is it not? Yeah, I mean, I was saying earlier, Kieran, about how it's about weird algorithms and whatnot. Yeah, and you've put it right, mate. What happened to a good old ball in a bowl? And football's all about kicking a ball in a bowl. It's just, yeah, it's weird because I remember last year, because obviously we were in the Europa League, as we all well know. The way they did it there was like, yeah, it would be like pot one. So say they pull out PSG because they're the first team. Because I think the new rule is the first seeded team is whoever won it the year before. And I feel like, that first team, and what it does is it comes out and then it goes like one by one. The next, it'll be like PSG will play and then it go dun 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 dun. But I think we're getting somewhere now with the draw because they're now going through all the teams in pot one, PSG, Real Madrid, and playing different highlights from them last year. But I'll make sure I'll keep my eye on that out the side just so I can see. Next, we have Ben Davis. Hello, mate. I'm going to read out your question this time. And he says, think a Swedish signing would be ideal, to be honest, preferably a pair of Swedish signings. Well, we're just talking to someone's in the chat who's of Swedish heritage and saying about Isak and Lucas Bergvall as well. You know, Dan Kulusevski, we've got in the squad. We've already got a pair of Swedish signings. So, you know, some will call them the Swedish treacles. Some would say there are Swedish treacles. But yeah, I feel like more Swedish players would be great. I'm a big fan of Swedish players. I mean, if we could get a deal for Isaac, would be funny, wouldn't it? He can play on the left, I'm sure. AK Sheg says Daddy Davis in the chat. Yeah, that's if you're wondering who Ben is, he's actually the son of Gareth A. Davis from Talksport. So yeah, he's a big boxing fan. Oh, Ben. Trev as well says last few days of the transfer window and Levy is like the lonely drunk in a pub at closing time trying to pull anything. I can't even finish that off. I can't finish that sentence off. Yeah, Levy is what Levy is. But it looks like we're now getting a bit closer to the draw. We're over an hour on the stream. 96 you're watching, 87 likes. If you before it starts, if you would be so kind to leave your likes, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, leave your super chats and your questions and reactions. And obviously, don't spoil. When I've said, and PSG will play and read them out, that's when you can start reacting in the chat as I do my typing thing. As Zlatan Ibrahimovic pulls out the first name from the pot, we're in pot one. Obviously, pot one is Paris, Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Inter, Chelsea, Dortmund, and Barcelona. Had to say it that quick because he's pulling the name out. And the first name out the bowl is Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, the first out of pot one. So maybe I wasn't right about PSG being the first name to always come out. But Bayern Munich, who are they going to face as the algorithm looks like it's doing its work? They've got some weird graphics on the screen for Bayern Munich. Will Harry Kane play against... will he play against... Tottenham Hotspur? Will he be on the return as Kaka presses the button? Wow, this is, oh my God, Bayern Munich. And now, let's have a look. Wait till it finishes. So no Harry Kane return for Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich will play Chelsea at home, PSG away, Club Brugge at home, Arsenal away, Sporting at home, PSV away, Union St. Galois at home, and Paphos away. That's, wow. That's crazy. So Bayern are playing Chelsea, PSG, and Arsenal. I mean, and Theo Walcott's there for Arsenal as their representative, but Bayern playing Arsenal, that's fun. That in the sense of the history they've got in the competition. Chelsea as well. Bayern, we all know what happened in that Champions League final. The fact that Spurs missed out on it was not great. But yeah, Still Hero says as the second one, I'll quickly get this question in. Ooh, from Saz. Yeah, really impressive that. Still Hero says, did Xavi reject Spurs last moment? Well, we're not hearing anything yet. So the next one is Chelsea. So we know Chelsea will be playing Bayern Munich, but from pot one, who will Chelsea now face? This is how I'm going to react to it. So Chelsea will play Bayern Munich away already. I think that is on game week 2, is that? Or is that game week 1? I'll just react to them as they come up. Kane loves a goal against the scum. Exactly. That is Kane against Arsenal. Really good. So Chelsea will play Barcelona at home, Bayern Munich away, Benfica at home, Atalanta away, Ajax at home, Napoli away against Conte, Paphos at home, and Karabag away. Not a bad little draw that for Chelsea. I think the Todd Bowley was in the crowd, but the other guy was in the crowd. I can't remember his name. It's left me. But yeah, Chelsea, as I say, Barcelona, Bayern, Benfica, Atalanta, Ajax, Napoli, Paphos, and Karabag. And the Rude Boy Sound says, quickly, I'll get this in. Are you going to change this formation? I try to support as many channels, but conversations begin to sound like a pub on a match with so many... I'll read that after. Real Madrid. What was that? Questions are you going to change this formation? I try to support as many channels, but conversations are beginning to sound like a pub on a match day with so many panel shows. Well, I just like, I like having a chat with people. This is how I do it, and this is what it's going to be. And AK Shek says, Carrier Bag FC. I like that spelling. So, Real Madrid are going to face, and this is where we could actually be pulled out. And we're not. We look like we're not playing Real Madrid. Real Madrid will play, and this is so good. Man City at home, Liverpool away, Juventus at home, Benfica away, Marseille at home, Olympiacos away, Monaco at home, and Kairat Almaty away. Real Madrid travelling to Kazakhstan, the team who who knocked out Celtic. Celtic didn't even score a goal in that game. I think they won on penalties in the end, Kairat. But yeah, as I say, yeah, Garwood, Madrid teams low. I mean, that is tricky for Real Madrid. City and Liverpool back to back. They've got Xabi Alonso's got a baptism fire. And Xabi Alonso going to Liverpool. That'll be really, really interesting. So we might face Barcelona, Dortmund, or Inter. I mean, PSG are yet to be pulled out. Next team is Inter. Now, I wouldn't mind facing Inter. Wouldn't mind facing Inter at all. That would be quite fun. As I say, no spoilers. The high chance of Tottenham now coming out soon. But Inter Milan or Internazionale, I think it is, will play Liverpool at home, Dortmund away, Arsenal at home, Atletico Madrid away, Slavia Prague away, Slavia Prague at home, sorry, Ajax away, Kayat Almaty at home, and Union Saint-Galois away. So that's Inter Milan. That is some tricky fixtures there. Liverpool, Dortmund, Arsenal, and Atleti. Wow. And I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can confirm this. I'm not sure if those fixtures are in that order. That will they necessarily be played in that order? I'm not sure because this happened with Tottenham last year and they ended up playing Rangers like one of the latter games. I missed it. Dortmund pulled out. Oh, please, Dortmund, please. I want something. So Dortmund, well, obviously they know they're already playing Inter at home. That's already been confirmed, which is very, very interesting. Inter and Dortmund, two like proper class teams. So Dortmund will play Inter at home. Here we go. Tottenham, here we go. Inter at home, Man City away, Villarreal at home, Juventus away, Bodø Glimt at home, Tottenham away, Athletic Club at home, and Copenhagen away. So Borussia Dortmund will play Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which is really, really good. I'm really happy about that. And I can confirm the TalkSport main account is in the chat asking, did Spurs get a Swedish team? And at the moment, they have not pulled a Swedish team. But yeah, Tottenham playing Dortmund then, as it stands, is one of the first teams out. Obviously, Dortmund coming to Spurs. We haven't had any away games come out yet, but there'll be one more team from the pot one that we need to face. And it's Liverpool out next. We obviously can't play them, but they know already, Liverpool, that they're playing Real Madrid at home and Inter Milan away. So Kaka, again, pressing the magic button. The button is class, glows up and everything. So Liverpool will play, as I said, Real Madrid at home, Inter away, Athletic Madrid at home, Frankfurt away, PSV at home, Marseille away, Karabag at home, and Galatasaray away. Wow. Some tricky fixtures there for Liverpool. Real Madrid, Inter, Atleti, tricky. Frankfurt's not an easy away game. Marseille's not an easy away game. And Galatasaray is not an easy away game. Wow. That is really good for Liverpool. Wow. I love this format. This is so good. I loved it last year and I love it now. Next out of the pot is FC Barcelona. I can see it. And Ekatike returning to Frankfurt, AK Sheg. Spot on there, mate. Barcelona. I can see Barcelona are going to play us. I can see it. 150 of you watching. Leave your like, subscribe, get your super chats and questions in. Barcelona already know they have to go to Stamford Bridge to play Chelsea away. Kaka, press that button. I know what's going to do it. Yeah, you wait for Cook with this format. Let's have a look. I'll wait for if Tottenham pops out. They haven't. But so we don't play Barcelona. So Barcelona will play PSG at home, Chelsea away, Frankfurt at home, Club Brugge away, Olympiacos at home, Slavia Prague away, Copenhagen at home, and Newcastle away. Barcelona, Lamine Yamal will be going to St. James's Park. Wow. That's so good. This format is amazing. Absolutely love it. Oh, I'm getting excited now. Getting excited about this Champions League. So we can only play PSG. We're going to play PSG, aren't we? This is going to be us. Oh, no. But I don't mind it. I mean, PSG, they've already got Bayern at home and Barcelona away. So they have to play us because Man City are the only team left in pot one. So, yeah, it all makes sense as it goes. The rematch, the revenge. So, I mean, Tottenham at home. So we travelled to PSG for that one. What's that? Yeah. So Paris will play Bayern Munich at home, Barcelona away, Atalanta at home, Leverkusen away, Tottenham at home, Sporting away, Newcastle at home, and Athletic Club away. So far, Tottenham are facing Borussia Dortmund and PSG from pot one, as the last team are out of the pot, which was Manchester City from pot one, as Zlatan Ibrahimovic, reveals that. So Man City will know who they're facing now, which is at the moment they're facing Borussia Dortmund at home and Real Madrid away, which is very, very entertaining. Oh, that's really good. So, and then it's coming out now. Let me have a look. So Man City will face Borussia Dortmund at home, Real Madrid away, Leverkusen at home, Villarreal away, Napoli at home, Bodø Glimt away. They've got to go where we went, which was on the 4G pitch. Galatasaray at home and Monaco away. That's not too bad for City. I mean, Napoli at home. The home tie, they've got to go to the Bernabeu. That's going to be fun. It's not easy, this format, in the sense of like, you think, wow, I'm doing all right. I'm playing Real Madrid at home. I've got the home advantage. But then you might have to go Galatasaray away. Class. So pot one fixtures are all done, and the only teams we know that we will play so far is we play PSG at home, as in at PSG's ground, and Dortmund will come to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It could have been, you have to face one big team, and PSG. We've played them. We've played a good game. They're going to be fit, fighting fit. They were a bit knackered when we played them. But Thomas Frank showed he's going to get the back three out. And Dortmund, not as strong as they used to be. So, and Dortmund at home as well, which is better because I've been to the Signal Iduna Park, and it is an intimidating atmosphere. I was only there for an England-Netherlands semi-final. I want to also throw in a question out there. What do you make of Zlatan's hair? I think it looks quite sharp. 118 of you watching right now. Hope you're all doing really well. And as I say, let's get to our goal of 100 likes. We're only 9 likes away. Share this as well. Leave your super chats. And as I say, leave your super chats, leave your questions, subscribe, and hit your notification bells if you are new around here as well. Yeah, a lot of people saying in the chat, rematch, let's go. Not the worst draw from pot one, to be fair, says AK Shegs. Have to agree with you, mate. I'll take that. But now they're going to do pot two and sort of finalize it and connect the dots. But I'll just read them out as and when they happen. TalkSport official count says Sonny's Talk Spurs gets a bonus if Spurs beat PSG. Whoever's commenting that from the account, if you have the power, then you know what to do. But AK Shegs as well says Sonny deserves a raise. Thank you. I really appreciate that. We all try, don't we? But yeah, not a bad draw so far, actually. I'm actually going to just send a quick text to my dad, see if he's watching the draw. PSG away so far, Dortmund at home, which is not bad. I think this is quite more exciting because, I mean, obviously with the supercomputer and algorithm, people say it's rigged. Like before, when it was like balls in a bowl and like there was a bit of luck in it, even though people would say, "Oh, it's heated bowls and all that." But yeah, it's hard to tell. And Wiser Faster says, "I'll take this so far. I will." And what I'm going to do is, while I sip my drink, we're 3 likes away. There's 114 of you in here, so some people haven't liked the video. I want to get to my goal of 100, and if we get to closer to 120, that would be even better. As my dad's just replied. Let's see what my dad has to say about that. Yes, was watching you for a while. See, keep it in the family, whatever that means. He says he was watching my stream, but ain't it? Yes, was watching you for a while, but ain't it hard to follow all of it? Well, the thing is, if you're watching me, I'm explaining it very well, you could say. And we've hit 100 likes. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you. And this is my favorite stream today. Really have loved it so far, as pot 2 is now getting pulled. And the first team out of pot 2 is Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen. And they already know that they play PSG at home and Manchester City away. What's his name? Chip Kester says, unbelievable, Jeff. Spurs have been drawn against Swedish giants AFK Smorgasbord. Smorgasbord. I like that. It's really good. And Michael Gill says, lazy Friday morning, Australia. Big up from Australia. So Leverkusen will play PSG at home, Man City away, Villarreal at home, Benfica away, PSV at home, Olympiacos away, Newcastle at home, and Copenhagen away. So again, Spurs avoid playing Leverkusen. That is very interesting. Let's see, from pot two, I need to get my pot two picture out. So pot two, who else is in there? Well, Arsenal next out of pot two, so we can't face them. So that gives me a bit of time to look at the teams in pot two. So we have Arsenal and Leverkusen, but then we've got Atletico Madrid we could face, Benfica, Atalanta, Villarreal, Juventus, Eintracht Frankfurt, and Club Brugge. So still a lot of tricky games in there. So Arsenal will play Bayern Munich at home, Inter Milan away, Atletico Madrid at home, Club Brugge away, Olympiacos at home, Slavia Prague away, Kairat Almaty at home, and Athletic Club away. That's the perfect draw for Arsenal. Perfect draw for Arsenal, honestly. They've got the away games and the home games. Just perfect, haven't they? That's so annoying. That's so annoying. Oh, just as they want. Oh, it's so annoying. Sorry, I'm just watching because I'm watching here. Atalanta next out of pot two. AK Sheg says Leverkusen, a much depleted side. Was hoping we draw them. Fingers crossed we get Paphos. Yeah, that's the one. I'm having league trophy anxiety. Pretty much. So Atalanta know they're already playing Chelsea at home, PSG away. Then they've got Club Brugge at home, Frankfurt away, Slavia Prague at home, Marseille away, Athletic Club at home, and Union Saint Galois away. So again, Atalanta, Spurs will not be facing Atalanta in this year's Champions League. Champions League phase? Is that how you say it? Champions League phase. But that's interesting. Yeah, very, very interesting. JTB says, great show, Sonny, mate. Thank you. Really appreciate that. You were doing a much better job than Zlatan and Kaka and co. I mean, what company to keep some AC Milan legends and me. I should have worn my AC Milan shirt. Instead, I'm wearing this Lionel Messi number, if you can see it. So I didn't say Benfica. I did say I wanted to play, Portugal, Lisbon. I've done the stadium tour in Benfica. It's class. I've got a nice Benfica away shirt as well. So Benfica, no, they're playing Real Madrid at home, Chelsea away, and Leverkusen at home. As Kaka presses the button yet again, and it's Juventus away, Napoli at home, Ajax away, Karabag at home, and Newcastle away. Again, avoiding Benfica, but that's Benfica would be. They're a great team. They've got European pedigree, but they're not the best team at the moment, are they? I'm having Champions League trophy anxiety. Don't know what you're talking about, mate. Josh, I want PSV. Yeah, I mean PSV would be fun. We've played them before. As I say, I know there's 102 of you watching, 103 likes. Great ratio, that. Pot 2 Club Brugge. Here we go. But no spoilers in the chat. I'll read them out and then we can talk about them. Club Brugge they battered Rangers 9-1 the other night, but, Russell Martin, a bit like Ange Postecoglou, so I think we'll be all right with Thomas Frank. Club Brugge already know they play Barcelona at home, Bayern Munich away, Arsenal at home, and Atalanta away. Will they get the North London derby double? Then it's Marseille at home, Sporting away, Monaco at home, and Kairat Almaty away. So Spurs, again, not playing Club Brugge. We look like we're avoiding a lot of the teams at the moment, which is weird. Maybe we're just weighted differently. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird at the moment. But yeah, I don't know how this algorithm works. Maybe it's corrupt. Saz 30, sending more to Rangers was a mistake. Frankfurt next out. So obviously beat them in the Europa League quarterfinal, last year. Hopefully we don't get them away. That was a tricky away game. Josh says, who have we got? We have. So Frankfurt have got Liverpool at home, Barcelona away, Atalanta at home, Atletico Madrid away, Tottenham at home, Napoli away, Galatasaray at home, and I missed the last one there. So Tottenham will face Frankfurt out in Germany. So that now means as Juventus are out the pot as well for pot 2. So that means we've got Dortmund, PSG, and Frankfurt at the moment as Juventus have pulled out the pot, and they know already they're playing Dortmund at home, Real Madrid away, and Benfica at home. Yeah, AK Shakes, Frankfurt away is tough. And JTB says, we never have enough loyalty points to go away in Europe, Sonny. Have you been away? I'll answer that after. So Juventus will have Dortmund at home, Real Madrid away, Benfica at home, Villarreal away, Sporting at home, Bodø, Glimt away, Paphos at home, and Monaco away. A lot of big teams have got to go to Bodø, Glimt away, and it's not easy. I can confirm that. I haven't got enough points because I'm not a season ticket holder. I'm just a member. So I've never been on an away day in Europe. I've never been on an away day in the Premier League. I just go to home games. Next team out the pot is Atletico de Madrid. I can see us playing them. Could see us playing them. Um, would be a fun game. Romero linked obviously with a move to Atletico Madrid. And at the moment, Atletico Madrid know they'll face Inter Milan at home, Liverpool away, Frankfurt at home, and Arsenal away. Will they do the North London double? And then they'll get PSV away, Union St. Galoy at home, and Galatasaray away. I just realised, oh no, we're in the same pot as Bodø. Yeah, because a lot of the top bits have already been decided. It's pretty much nearly done. So last team out the pot. So this will be who we face, and it's Villarreal. I think Villarreal. That if I've worked out right, it's hard to go on to it. Yeah, Juventus goes to Norway. Love this competition. So Villarreal already know they face Man City at home, Borussia Dortmund away, Juventus at home, and Leverkusen away. So that means Villarreal have to come to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Yeah, Ajax at home, then Tottenham away, Copenhagen at home, and Paphos away. So at the moment, Tottenham will face PSG, Borussia Dortmund. I've forgotten one of the teams. Villarreal and Eintracht Frankfurt. It's my dad's just saying it's not like Arsenal got the perfect draw. Ours is okay. Ours is okay. So yeah, at the moment, so it's PSG, Dortmund, Frankfurt, and Villarreal. Again, it's what do you define as a great draw in the Champions League? Facing some good teams, but also some like beatable teams. It's going to be a lot on Thomas Frank now to negotiate through this, but yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's not a bad draw so far. I feel like that's four good teams, four good games. We know PSG will be tough away. Frankfurt away will be tough. But Villarreal, yeah, at home would be good. Again, Villarreal, don't know how they've started the... let me have a little look. What are we looking at? La Liga. Because they've got rid of Tieno Barry and Pino's going to Crystal Palace. Oh my God, they're top of La Liga. Maybe I'm being rude to them. Yeah, 7... Oh, they've not conceded a goal as well. Pretty similar form to us. Yeah, 2 wins, 2 goals for. And 0 goals against. So, well, fair play to Villarreal. I'll take it back. Yeah, AK Shags, I think you're spot on. The home games are very winnable from top 2 pots. Now, pot 3 is coming up where Tottenham find themselves, and I think we're the first name out the pot. Well, not out the pot, but on the coefficient. Reshman Chowdhury, I can tell she's smiling about it. Here we go. Pot 3, and they should say Tottenham Hotspur. Here we go. Europa League holders and champions as they show a really good goal. I think that was against Roma by Brennan Johnson, obviously. But yeah, so this is where it all comes down to. Who will Tottenham face? I think this is how they finish off their they'll finish off their Champions League group table phase, whatever it's called. Wow, all hard games so far. Are they though? Are they hard games? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Do you think they're hard games? Let me know in the comments if you think they're hard games. 105 of you watching so far. Leave your like, subscribe if you haven't already, as Tottenham will find out their final teams that they'll face in the Champions League. Hopefully I'll be able to go to some of the home games. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's very interesting. I'm liking it so far. I'm liking it. It's just really, definitely, they're all hard games. We're in pot 3, so it's going to be hard. PSG will be hard. Dortmund will not be but they're beatable as well. Some of these teams, PSG maybe not so much, but we saw how we played PSG the other week. So it will be quite interesting. World manager in the making. I hope you're talking about Thomas Frank there. Freedom Force Europe, but yeah, it's really. I'm intrigued. Get 2 German league teams. We're trying to sign a player from the German league, and RB Leipzig, they're not playing the Champions League, so that will be interesting. So pot 3, before they pull this, whoever is it, Zlatan? I think Kaka's now going to do the second half. So Kaka's pulling the names out, and Zlatan is pressing the weird button, whatever you want to call it. Pot 3. So the first team out of pot 3 to finish this all off. Well, not finish all off because we've got pot 4. Hopefully they pull Tottenham out, and then we'll know where we stand from there on in. It's Olympique de Marseille, so there's still a chance I think we play. Do we play 2 teams from this as well? I'm still trying to get my head around it. Who we finalise with? So Marseille. Ideally, I'd like to avoid Marseille away, especially. I wouldn't mind playing Marseille at home. I mean, De Zerbi's there, which he's obviously a formidable coach. But let's see. So Liverpool at home, Real Madrid away, Atalanta at home, Club Brugge away, Ajax at home, Sporting away, Newcastle at home, and Union Saint Galois away. Not bad, not bad. I'm happy we've avoided Marseille there as an advert plays on the stream that I'm watching, the TNT stream. Kaka back into the bowl to pick out another ball, and so we'll see who we're playing here. And it's Tottenham Hotspur. Here we go. We're going to find out who we're finalising our group then, which will be very interesting. So we know we've got Dortmund at home, PSG away, Villarreal at home, and Frankfurt away. So let's see who we get out of this one as they show Odegaard scoring a goal in the Europa League last year. Zlatan pushed the button. That sounds like Sugar Babes. Slavia Prague at home, Bodø Glimt away, Copenhagen at home, and Monaco away. Okay, then. That's not too bad. Slavia Prague at home, I'd rather have them at home. Bodø Glimt away, we've beaten them before. Be tricky, but we've done it. Copenhagen at home is fun. And Monaco away. That'll be a fun little trip, wouldn't it, for people who go there? And Eric Dyer is at and Pogba. So yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. That's not bad at all. Not a bad draw at all. But I'll finish this. Because Tottenham are going to probably tweet it in a minute. I'll read it out one more time when it comes through. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Nice little draw. Bodø Glimt away. It's quite fun. It's quite fun actually. But yeah, Bodø Glimt already know that they play Man City at home, Dortmund away, Juventus at home, Atletico away, Tottenham at home, Slavia Prague away, Monaco at home, and Galatasaray away. What a tricky time for Bodø Glimt, as one of their executives is wearing a very nice yellow tie. But yeah, Tottenham now know then where they stand in the Champions League phase. Yeah, I think it's not bad. Freedom Falls Europe. Brentford almost never played a bad game. Yes, of course, Brentford could lose, but it's okay if you play good, and they did. Fair enough. Legendary also says easy getting through group stage. I said round of 16 I think would be good, as Kaka pulls out Sporting from the bowl. Tottenham is still not tweeted. Probably they'll do it when the draw's over. But Sporting CP now coming out of the who are they going to get? So they get PSG at home, Bayern away, Club Brugge at home, Juventus away, Marseille at home, Napoli away, Kairat Almaty at home, and Athletic Club away. Let's get some of your questions in. This is a great draw. Boring to play Bodø and Frankfurt, but can't complain. Yeah, it's a bit annoying because we've done it. Like Spurs fans have done that away trip, and it's pretty much similar again. Chip Case says, "I'll take the big names and tough games all day long. Win the Champions League." Exactly. It's you got to play the big teams at this stage. Olympiacos coming out the bowl now. This is not a bad group. It's not a group. It's a league phase. Feral Ferret. JTB says, "Yes, I like those 4 teams." AK Shags, big up, Sonny. Great stream. Thank you, mate. Neil Grafton, nice local fixture. Noah Matty. Yeah, that's a good thing. We don't have to go all the way to out there to Kazakhstan. Olympiacos on they've got Marinakis on screen. Boo! And they play Real Madrid at home, Barcelona away, Leverkusen at home, Arsenal away, PSV at home, Ajax away, Paphos at home, Kairat Almaty away. Freedom Force Europe says Xavi Simons ? Morton Hulman would be nice to get. We don't really need we got Polinia now. Xavi Simons, I mean, lots of good updates on him tonight, which is always quite interesting. We'll see what happens in that regard. Hopefully Xavi Simons can be done, is what I'll say. Hopefully, I'm hoping a Tottenham account. Here we go. So Lily White Rose has just tweeted Tottenham's Champions League draw, just to go over it again, is wait, I'll read it out after actually, because Ajax are now finding out who they face. So Ajax will face Inter Milan at home, Chelsea away, Benfica at home, Villarreal away, Olympiacos at home, Marseille away, Galatasaray at home, and Karabag away. And now going back to Tottenham's Champions League draw. And I don't know if this will be the order the games are played, but it will be Dortmund at home, which I think is good. Dortmund at home, I like the idea of that. Actually, I'll react when the stream's done, Champions League, I'll react to all of them individually. Dortmund at home, PSG away, Frankfurt away, Villarreal at home, Slavia Prague at home, Bodø Glimt away, Copenhagen at home, and Monaco away. not bad at all. Pot 3, Slavia Prague pulled out. They obviously know most of the teams they're facing, which are Barcelona at home, Inter Milan away, Arsenal at home, Atalanta away, Bodø Glimt at home, and Tottenham away. So both North London teams. And they finished their pot up with Athletic Club at home and Paphos away. That's what you got to remember. Bilbao are in pot 4 and they got to the semi-finals, which is interesting. Voldemar to Newcastle. I just saw that actually. It seems like their striker search is coming to an end, which is, maybe, I don't know if he's the Callum Wilson replacement or the Isak replacement. Freedom Force, as a Dane, we are the best team in Scandinavia. Yeah, big up Denmark. I've only been to Norway and Scandinavia, but yeah, gotta love it. Gene Simmons as well is really good. That's going to be his slander name, isn't it? PSV then, no, they'll play Bayern Munich at home, Liverpool away, Atletico Madrid at home, Leverkusen away, Napoli at home, Olympiacos away, Union Saint-Gilloise at home, and Newcastle away, which is really, really interesting. Lee Holstrip says the home games are fairly kind away at Monaco, and Lord Eric Dyer will be fun. The return of Eric Dyer, not the return of Harry Kane. Eric Dyer return is going to be really fun, which is hilarious. Pot 3, Napoli, and we avoided Napoli. We've got to remember we avoided Napoli. No Antonio Conte banter, which will be really, really good. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, really, really interesting little development there. So as we finalising last couple of teams from pot, as the bloody advert plays. Give us a second because this is not skippable. I won't be able to tell you who got that one then, but we'll pull that out. I'll just react to Tottenham again when it comes back up on the screen. Because at the moment, Newcastle closing on Nick Vorderman deal. Here we go soon. Not a bad little signing that. Not a bad little signing at all. Missed all that because the stream decided to play an advert. But yes, 78 of you watching right now. Really appreciate all you watching as pot 4 is drawing to a conclusion. As I said at the beginning of the stream and all the way through the stream, if you have really enjoyed this, I'll probably be live for another 10 to 15 minutes reacting, 3 more transfer chat. But as I say, if you have enjoyed, subscribe, get your questions in. If any of you would be so kind to leave a super chat, I would really, really appreciate it. Been going live for nearly just over an hour and a half. I'm sweating, you can probably tell. But I'm happy with Tottenham's Champions League draw. We'll have a little deep dive in a discussion when they've finalised all the teams. But pretty much Tottenham's is set. As Garwood says, easy 7 out of 8 wins for Spurs. I mean, PSG maybe is the only one that we won't win. It'll be Bodø Glimt. They'll get revenge. We're going to win, bro. It's good. If we get Xavi Simons, I'm more confident. But yeah, really appreciate it. 65 of you still watching. We've been going live. We've had some really good views. I think how many people have watched during this? Just over 2,000 of you at different stages, and I really appreciate it. There's loads of people streaming right at the moment. Fogden, other Spurs, great Spurs channels like Sean, or Spurs Talk Show rather, and Henry streaming. So yeah, really appreciate it. Obviously, when I finish this stream as well, you can go back, you can see my reactions and all that. Actually, Tottenham have now tweeted the Champions League, what's it called? Who we will be playing in the Champions League as Kaka pulls out the names for pot 4. Who's the first name out of pot 4 for Kaka? Athletic Club, obviously Bilbao, as they're also known. Basically, most of theirs is probably already done. Athletic Club then will be facing PSG, Borussia Dortmund. I'll say it in the right order. PSG at home, Dortmund away, Arsenal at home, Atalanta away, Sporting at home, Slavia Prague away, Carabao at home, and Newcastle away. Yeah, Tottenham tweeting a nice graphic with all the teams. Nice variety of teams. I guess if you're a proper Tottenham fan, you'll be like a bit annoyed. Like Paris as an away might be a bit meh. Might be a bit away. Average of especially with how PSG fans can be. Frankfurt away, but a lot of people did that last year. Bodø Glimt away, it weren't a great away day because there weren't many tickets on sale. And Monaco away, you probably had to have a pretty penny to go there. So, and then Dortmund at home, Villarreal at home, Slavia Prague at home, and Copenhagen at home, which is really, really interesting. Freedom Force Europe has become a member of the Sunny Talk Spurs channel. Get a nice few perks with that. I actually might kickstart my little podcast that I was doing. I stopped doing it because I was so busy, but I might kickstart that, which is part of the membership. If you're keen, let me know. Freedom Force Europe as well, with a little smiley face. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate becoming a member. It's not costly to become a member. You get a few little perks. So but the perks are, it really helps support the channel, is what I'd say mainly. Monaco now out of the bowl, and they know most of theirs. Man City at home, Real Madrid away, Juventus at home, Club Brugge away, playing us at home, Bodø Glimt away, Galatasaray at home, and Paphos away. As Freedom Force Europe says, are so happy Spurs might shop in AS Monaco. They don't have they have done extremely well. Yeah. I mean, what does Monaco have now? They have Eric Dyer, they have Paul Pogba, and they have Ansu Fati. So that will be really, really interesting. And thank you so much. I mean, very generous TJ Stanscliffe, who has donated $4.99. I'm not used to dollars, but yeah, I don't know what that is in pounds. But it's like when they put euros and stuff on transfers, it gets really confusing. Galatasaray as well know that they've got. Oh, that's gone off the screen. He's commented, I always enjoy your content, Sonny. Keep up the good work. Big up all the way from the coast of Lake Erie. Oh, get some more of your American Spurs fans. I want to build my American fan base, but really appreciate the donation. If anyone else wants to leave a donation, I'm going to be live probably till about 6:15. Because that's when I want to have some dinner. Newcastle, then, their draws being confirmed. Tricky draw for Newcastle, who have got Barcelona at home, PSG away, Benfica at home, Leverkusen away, PSV away, Marseille away, Athletic Club at home, and Union Saint-Galois away. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And yeah, Garwoody, Freedom Force Europe replying to Garwoody saying, AS Monaco, not easy. And Garwoody should know that because the other month he went and watched AC Milan and Monaco back to back. So he should know Monaco, a nice little side in League One, obviously. 49 of you still watching. Really appreciate you guys still hanging around as the draw is coming to an end, as we're confirming who Union Saint Galois will be playing, who are Inter, Bayern, Atalanta, Atletico Madrid, Marseille, PSG, Newcastle, and Galatasaray. And just as I'm still trying to keep up with the amount of adverts being played by, there's only, 3 balls left. So when they're done, I'll close this stream down and we'll talk for the next 10 or so minutes about Spurs. And get your questions in, guys. Get your questions in about Xavi Simons, about transfers, about the Champions League. Get your questions in, flood them in, because as I say, I'm only going to be live for another 10 or so minutes. And obviously, as I said, I will be at the Bournemouth game on Saturday because I just can't wait. I just can't wait. I'm going with my old man. We're going to have a really good time. I'm really looking forward to it. 3 o'clock kickoff should be fun. As Paphos find out who they're playing, Bayern, Chelsea, and it's gone off the screen because I'm too busy talking. But yeah, I won't probably have another piece of video content out. I've got a short going live tomorrow. I mean, depends. I'll probably do some reactive bits if Xavi Simons, anything happens with that. And then also we've got what else have we got? I'll probably do a little reaction video on Sunday, and then I'm probably going to stream as well on Monday for deadline day. As Copenhagen have got their teams, and one of them is playing Tottenham away. But yeah, I'm very intrigued. Yeah, so with deadline day, what I'll probably do with that stream is deadline day shuts at 7, so I'll probably stream from about, I might do 6 till about 8, just overlapping there. As Kairat Almaty, the Kazakhstan side who beat Celtic, find out theirs, and they're playing Real Madrid are going to Kazakhstan. That's fantastic, isn't it? What a story that is. Freedom Force Europe says, watch Mika Bereth in Monaco. He scored 3 hat-tricks in the first 7 games. The way he scored and moved reminds me of a young Harry Kane. I think he's actually from the Monaco, the Arsenal Academy. But yeah, that's the Champions League draw done, guys. We now know all the teams, who they're playing home and away, etc., etc. So to confirm, I'm going to go through each team and give my reaction to it. So from pot 1, Spurs will be playing Borussia Dortmund at home. Now, I think that's Borussia Dortmund are not as good as they used to be. I fancy Spurs against Borussia Dortmund, but it's not it's not it's not the easiest. It's not the hardest. I'd rather play them at home than away, so I'm not too fussed about that. PSG away is the tricky one. Obviously, we played them. What was that? Less than a month ago in the Super Cup. They beat us on penalties, but we were 2-0 up. We looked really good, but they're not going to be as leggy. They're going to have a season under their belt. They didn't have a preseason when they faced us. They're going to have Kvaratskhelia. They're going to have Barcola and Dembele and Desiree Doué. So yeah, I mean, but Jed Spence knows how to keep a lot of them players on lock. Then we got Villarreal at home again. Villarreal, I've just seen their top of La Liga, but again, beatable team on their day. So not too happy, not too sad about that. Then we got Frankfurt away, which we played last year. We beat them 1-0, which was good. Will be tricky again. They obviously haven't got Ekatike, who was a bit of a thorn in our side in that first leg of the quarterfinal in the Europa League. So not too bad at all. Then we've got Slavia Prague at home. Again, would rather play a team like them. I mean, Prague would be an amazing away day, but you'd rather those teams are known for their fierce atmosphere. Would rather play them at home than away. Then we're playing Bodø Glimt away. And again, we played it before. It's a very small ground. It's an artificial pitch. We played in the semi-final of the Europa League. Not many Spurs fans able to go to that one. But yeah, not too bad at all. Again, it should be a beatable side. Copenhagen at home. I think that's winnable. I think that's really winnable. Not too sure about them in the regards of their league and whatnot. But I mean, they're a Champions League constant. But again, winnable game, I'd say. And AS Monaco away. Again, they've got Eric Dyer, they've got Paul Pogba, they've got Ansu Fati. But again, I haven't seen the League One table since the start of the season. But where do they find themselves? Oh, they find themselves 8th. They've won one and lost one. So again, very winnable games, which is very, very interesting. As I said, guys, I'll probably be live until about 20 past. 66 of you in the chat. As I said, leave your likes, subscribe if you're new. Any super chats like what TJ Stancliffe left would be appreciated. And get your questions in about transfers, about Tottenham and Thomas Frank's start to the season. We haven't conceded a goal. What do you see ahead of the Bournemouth game? As I say, this is one of my last videos ahead of the weekend because unless something major happens in the transfer window. But I'm keen to get your questions and answers done in the next, as I say, ahead of about 6:20. I think that would be good. But yeah, I mean, quite a nice draw in general for the Champions League. Some really tasty fixtures. As I said, like PSG are a good team, but you had Real Madrid in there, even like Napoli and pot 3 along with us. I think those teams are set out in their pots. Yeah, they are. So Dortmund and PSG were pot 1, Villarreal and Frankfurt were pot 2, Slavia Prague and Bodø Glimt were pot 3, and Copenhagen and Monaco were pot 4. So not too bad at all. As UCL draw streaming on some stream thing in the comment section with a little thumbs up. So yeah, very interesting. Alistair Gold I've just been sent an Alistair Gold tweet. You won't play sides like Eintracht Frankfurt and Bodø Glimt in the Champions League. Oh, that is funny, isn't it? That's solid. That's a solid tweet. That. But yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Like people saying, like, they're not Champions League ready. You had an easy run to the final, and it's like, no, it was literally fine. But yeah, what a funny state of play it has been in this Champions League. It's not Newcastle's draw looks. I mean, Newcastle City's draw looked quite tasty. Arsenal had the perfect draw. I don't know if you saw it, guys. They've got the perfect teams at home. They've got the perfect teams away. Bayern will be a tricky test, obviously. They struggled against Bayern, haven't they, in their history? But yeah, it's a tasty little draw for a lot of sides. I mean, that the Kazakhstani side, Kairat getting some. I think they're playing Real Madrid at home, so that'll be that. Real Madrid going to Kazakhstan. Xabi Alonso will be tasty. Liverpool, I think they're playing Real Madrid. City, I think are playing Real Madrid, and PSG. I need to double check. I feel. But yeah, just a really tasty fixture. With 87 of you still watching, as I say, if you've just joined, because I've seen that number just jump up from 60 to 87, leave your like, subscribe if you're new around here. As I say, we're talking about the Champions League draw. If you've got any questions in regard to transfers, the Champions League, the weekend fixture against Bayern Munich, against Bournemouth, get your questions in because I'll probably be going live for another 5 minutes or so because it's been really, really good. Really, really good. As Mark Castell says, seems like a decent draw and all. Could have been worse. Great job, Sonny, representing Spurs when you're on TalkSport and Sky Sports. Keep it up. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much. It's support on stuff like this that gets me seen, gets me like on different channels and whatnot. So I really, really appreciate that. And as I said, like TJ Stancliffe did, if you want to leave a super like in the last 5 minutes, I would really, really appreciate that. But yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. This stream. It's been enjoyable. I'm glad with what Spurs have done. And obviously the Xavi Simons news. Xavi Simons news breaking during this one as well. Looks like I'll read that tweet again, actually, from Matt Law. Let me get it up. It was sent a little while ago. Xavi Simons. I had it in a group chat, but it's got. Here we go. So Matt Law, around about an hour ago, actually, to the dot, tweeted that Tottenham close to agreeing a deal to sign Xavi Simons following positive talks with RB Leipzig and player. But until transfer is confirmed, there will be nervousness over Chelsea threat. So yeah, we got to watch our backs. We got to watch our backs because, as I say, Tottenham. It's hard, it's hard to know what's going to happen. It's hard to know what's going to happen because we've seen it with Morgan Gibbs White. We've seen it with all the other players as well in recent weeks and months and whatnot. Hincapi as well. Looks like we missed out on him. So yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? It's a tricky one. But I just feel like, I feel like it's going to be a big weekend in the transfer window for Spurs. Really big transfer week. Deadline day on Monday, as I say, I'm doing a stream for it. We haven't made a signing in about a month, which is mind-boggling. But Tottenham always do it late. Tottenham always leave it late, which is just typical, isn't it? Freedom Force Europe, yes, but Mika came first from Fulham, then Arsenal, but never got to the first team, so it would be great revenge against Arsenal. Yeah, we'll see what we do against them. And AK Sheg says lots of American Sunny fans these days. Good to hear. Good to hear. That's what I want to. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this stream. Really enjoyed it. As I say, Tottenham, I'll repeat it one more time just for all you guys and gals in the chat. So Tottenham in the Champions League will face Borussia Dortmund at home, Paris Saint-Germain away, Villarreal at home, Eintracht Frankfurt away, Slavia Prague at home, Bodø Glimt away, FC Copenhagen at home, and AS Monaco way. Very, very intriguing. As Chip Kester, one of the last comments, Isak is signing for Man City. Him and Man Baby Haaland will combine for the occasional piggyback ride and some constant toy throwing. Yes. And Freedom Force Europe said, let's hope Xavi, our Tottenham player this week. Well, it has to be this week because the transfer window shuts on Monday. But as I said, guys, if you have enjoyed it as we're drawing to a close, 68 of you watching, 71 of you watching, 116 likes. If you've just joined, if you're new, leave your likes. You can watch this stream back, all my reaction to the Champions League draw. Subscribe if you have not already. Hit the notification bell. It lets you know when I've gone live. Got a few videos going up over the weekend, reaction to any transfer news. That's why you put your bell on because it will let you know. And if you have enjoyed as well, a super chat would be appreciated. A small donation to help show your support on the channel. And as I say, I will be back for some videos over the weekend. I'm going to the Tottenham Bournemouth game on Saturday. So if you see me in and around the ground, don't be afraid to come up and say hello. And obviously say you're a fan because otherwise I think I'll know you from somewhere. But yeah, hope you have enjoyed. I'll finish with his comment. I think we're winning 7 out of 8 or at least 5 wins, 2 draws. And that's what we'll take. So yeah, see you guys later. Hope you have enjoyed. Come on, you Spurs. Have a good evening. Ciao.